Where's Walter?
Mr. Garner probably held him back again.
Yeah.
Can't we missing football next week for this Remembrance Day?
I know. Shouldn't we be letting these poor guys rest in peace?
Look, there's Walter Smith. Do you not used to be Scotland manager?
I don't know anything, that's Walter Sinclair Smith. He's got a great story.
Yeah, like what?
The Smith brothers, like many boys, loved football and having fun together, but the Great War would drastically change their lives forever. With many members of the Dunoon Grammar School Military Corps, 4 of the 5 brothers, Leslie, John, James and Walter, signed up in Glasgow to the 5th Cameronians, the Scottish Rifles. Walter and his brothers were stationed in the trenches of the Western Front near Armontier during Christmas 1914. His unit was one that participated in a spontaneous and unofficial Christmas truce, exchanging gifts, stories and pictures of loved ones with the Saxon unit of the German army they faced across the battlefield. Several games of football between the opposing armies also took place. The Christmas truce is regarded by many as being the iconic moment of peace and humanity during one of the most brutal and bloody wars of all time, and has inspired a range of books, movies and songs, including Paul McCartney's only solo UK #1 Pipes of Peace.
Late in the afternoon of Christmas Day 1914, while British soldiers were socialising with German soldiers on no man's land, a shot rang out from the British lines, accidentally fired by a regular from the Scottish Rifles. A German sniper immediately replied, and instead of firing on where the shot came from, fired at the first British soldier they saw and shot him through the head. That soldier was Walter Sinclair Smith. He died without regaining consciousness on Boxing Day. This tragedy appeared to have brought the temporary truce and period of ceasefire to an end on that part of the front line, although the Saxons later apologised and claimed the bullet had come from a neighbouring Prussian unit. Walter was buried by his comrades in a quiet area behind the lines. His grave was marked by a simple wooden cross with a small evergreen tree planted behind it. It is unknown if Walter's 3 brothers witnessed his death or attended his funeral and burial.
Leslie, the oldest of the Smith brothers, survived the war relatively unscathed, reaching the rank of acting captain. Shortly after the war, Leslie married Barbara M. Sharp on the 19th of June 1919. James was wounded early in the war, suffering a rifle bullet in the arm and sent back to the UK to recover. He returned to active duty, winning the coveted Mons Star. He was taken prisoner early in 1918, spending the final year of the war in a prisoner of war camp. James married Dolly MacLeod on 27th of August 1926. They had 1 daughter together, Joyce. James died in 1962, aged 67. Eric, the youngest of the Smith brothers, escaped the worst of the war, but was part of the occupation forces stationed in Europe immediately after the war ended. He married his childhood sweetheart Jean Muir on returning home. Johnny joined the Flying Corps, which was an early version of the Royal Air Force. He worked in aerial reconnaissance. Late on in the war, he was shot down and severely injured, suffering brain damage, and he never fully recovered. He took his own life in 1946. He was 49 years old.
Even though this tragedy occurred over 90 years ago, young servicemen and women are still dying in war and returning from conflicts facing difficulties. Since 1921, the Scottish Poppy Appeal has raised money to provide direct help for these people and their families. The annual Poppy Appeal also ensures that the sacrifice made by Walter Sinclair Smith and others like him is never forgotten. It also reminds us that they are not just names on a brass plaque, but people who had similar interests, likes, loves, hopes and dreams that we ourselves hold dear. Then and now we are not so different.